Taiwan is highly undervalued and should receive far more attention globally. Living in Taiwan has been a big dream for me over the past few years. I have developed a huge desire to explore this island nation. Therefore, it is my wish that entry restrictions, at least for graduate exchange and vaccinated students, can be lifted. 10 years ago, this letter could have been from myself to Taiwan, but this letter is from Yasemin, a student who is currently in Germany, but who cannot wait until the Taiwanese borders are once again opening up for exchange students, which is what we're going to talk about in today's 外国人介绍台湾新闻. Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of 外国人介绍台湾新闻. My name is Lukas and I am the 外国人 who sits here and talk about Taiwanese related news in international media. But this week we're going to focus on another foreigner, more specifically Yasemin, who have sent a letter all the way from Germany regarding her tremendous love and desire to actually come here to Taiwan. In her letter, she mentions that living in Taiwan has been a big dream for the past few years, and she has actually been applying to come here to Taiwan for 2 years, but due to the COVID-19 situation, it was impossible for her to come here during the fall 2020 and spring 2021 semester. Therefore, she reapplied once again to come here to Taiwan during the upcoming fall 2021 semester. I guess I should also mention that this is actually not her letter to Taiwan. It's 2021. Of course, she sent an email. This is my motorcycle insurance certificate. But for the purpose of this video, please play along and we're going to continue with her story right away. So, as I mentioned, Yasemin reapplied once again to come here to Taiwan during the upcoming fall 2021 semester. And although she noticed there was an increase in COVID cases starting from May, and she knows this since she's from Germany, are still checking any Taiwanese related news every single day. She's still very hopeful as she is very confident that Taiwan once again will be able to actually manage the current COVID-19 situation. However, sadly, it is not currently possible for exchange students or anyone else really to come in here to Taiwan even if they are fully vaccinated. So therefore Yasemin in her letter is hoping that there will be some very quick updates on these border restrictions so at least fully vaccinated exchange students will be able to once again come in here to Taiwan. And after reading this letter, or well, my motorcycle insurance policy, I have to admit that I got a little bit emotional since I fully feel and agree with Yasemin regarding these border restrictions for a few different reasons. And I should also be fully honest with you. Earlier I said that 10 years ago this letter could have been from myself to Taiwan. But if you have subscribed to my channel for some time, then you know that the reason for why I came to Taiwan was just because I wanted to leave Sweden. And honestly, 9 years ago I could not have cared less if I came to Taiwan or any other country that was as far from Sweden as possible. And it would never have crossed my mind to actually write the letter to Taiwan asking them to change their policy so I could actually come here to Taiwan as an exchange student. And look at me now, 9 years later, I'm sitting here spending countless of hours every single week doing nothing else other than talking about Taiwan and then trying to get other foreigners to come here and visit Taiwan as well. Just imagine what Yasemin will be able to do for Taiwan 9 years from now, since she's already loving Taiwan way more than I did, and this is even before Yasemin has even come here to Taiwan. And she's also mentioning in the letter here that with this exchange program I had hoped to have many new experiences that could benefit German-Taiwan relations in the future. I believe that Taiwan is a highly undervalued country and should receive far more attention globally and especially in Germany. This right here is exactly why I spend so much time and so much money on actually promoting Taiwan every single week for now almost 3 years. Taiwan is highly undervalued and should receive far more attention globally. By the way, please remember that this is actually still my motorcycle insurance policy, so I think it was pretty impressive by me being able to memorize her letter word by word. And if you have subscribed to my channel from the early beginnings, then you know that it's exactly people like Yasemin which I am making these YouTube videos for. It's future exchange students, future tourists, or just anyone who's curious about the life here in Taiwan but not yet had the opportunity to actually come and visit. So although I never met her, I do really feel very, very strongly for Yasemin and all the other exchange students who have been planning hoping, dreaming about coming here to Taiwan just so they can become an exchange student for 1 semester, but then also hopefully decide to take just 1 more year to their Taiwanese adventure, followed by just 1 more year, and then just a 3rd year, and then before they know it, they will end up here just like myself 9 years later, still living here in Taiwan, and who knows, maybe even becoming YouTubers themselves and continue to promote Taiwan every single week. And I don't mean to criticize the Taiwanese government in any single way. I do truly believe that they have done their absolute best when it comes to balancing between managing COVID-19, but also the convenience and the life quality for us who live here in Taiwan. And I also agree with the argument that we should first focus on the risk with more domestic cases here in Taiwan before we start thinking about letting everyone in back here to Taiwan again. But remember that we're not talking about everyone in this scenario. We are talking about fully vaccinated people who have been vaccinated by vaccines not only recognized by the Taiwanese government, but also used here in Taiwan. And if we can't even let fully vaccinated people come here and visit Taiwan again, then when can we actually open the borders? Now, I know that normally during these news videos we are talking about a lot of different Taiwanese related news, but as a foreigner, these border restrictions actually has a huge impact on my personal life as well, because it's not only Yasemin who are not able to come here and visit Taiwan, it is also my parents, which I haven't seen for almost 2 years because of this COVID-19 pandemic. And for my absolute personal life, these border restrictions actually have a huge impact for me personally, myself as well. I am a resident of Taiwan, I have my R.O.C, I legally live here, I wouldn't have any problem actually coming back if I do decide to go out, travel somewhere, but it will come with a still 2 weeks mandatory quarantine period, even if I would have been fully vaccinated. And I know I'm being ridiculously selfish here when I am talking about that the entire country should open up their quarantine policy just so I can go home, visit my family, and then come back here without having to spend 2 weeks in a dedicated quarantine hotel. But I think we also have to remember that we are actually 1 year after the rest of the world when it comes to this giant COVID-19 cycle. So the rest of the world are now actually starting to opening up again. For example, for the entire EU, they already have something called the EU Digital COVID Certification, which is kind of like my motorcycle insurance certification, except that this is a personal QR code, which means 1 out of 3 things. Either you have been vaccinated against COVID-19, you have received a negative test result, or you have recovered from COVID-19. So if you have any of these 3, you will be able to obtain this digital QR EU Digital COVID Certification, which means that you more or less can travel freely within the EU without the need for extra tests or any quarantines. So hopefully as soon as Audrey Tang is back from the Tokyo Olympics and she has fulfilled her 14 days mandatory quarantine, she will be able to help us to create this QR code system here in Taiwan as well. And I just have to ask here, nothing personal against Audrey herself, she seems like a super cool minister and most likely well deserved to actually go and check out the opening of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, but am I the only one who finds it funny that the one person we are sending from Taiwan is the digital minister? I mean, if there's anyone in Taiwan who would be able to actually watch the games online, it would have been our digital minister. But then again, maybe she actually has to go there to make sure that the people in Japan knows what they're doing so they can actually send all the broadcasts over here to Taiwan so we could actually watch and enjoy the Olympic Games here in Taiwan as well. And speaking about watching something that you hopefully will enjoy, hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please do consider supporting me by subscribing to this channel, hitting that bell so you get notified next time I release a video, and if you do want to support me even more, please do consider to become a YouTube channel member as well, who are the ones making it possible for me to continue making videos and hopefully even making better and better videos every single week. And for this video, please do let me quote Yasemin one more time as she is ending her letter here with "Stay safe everybody, and hopefully see you soon Taiwan." Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas, starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.